As hopefully keyboard shortcuts for Zoom work for me this time. All right, so this is also just an application of product rule. So here we know this. The growth rate is modeled by the product of these two functions, the population and some environmental factor. So in here, right, this environmental factor, we can see that as time increases, it's getting negative, right? So this is a negative environmental factor, and our population is growing, right? We have some positive population. So what's the rate of change of this positive population change, but this kind of like negative environmental factor? All right, so I'm going to do this one kind of similar to the previous one. All right, so I know that G of t is equal to P of t times E of t. So when I do the product rule, I'm going to get my second function times the derivative of my first function plus my first function times the derivative of my second function. So sometimes with these questions, it's a little bit easier to write out like this because I've already kind of given you the functions. All right, so the change in our population, right, so 500 is a constant, we don't have to worry about that. Technically a chain rule. We know the derivative of e to the anything is just the exponent's derivative times e to the u. So if I take the derivative of the exponent, I'm going to get just 0.05. I still have my constant of 500 out front, and then 0.05t. So when I multiply 500 times 0.5, that would be what, 25? 25e to the 0.05t? Yeah, that should be right. And then when I take the derivative of this second function, it's going to be negative 0.5t, right? That's just going to be a little bit of a product rule there. All right, so then when I plug in everything, so here's our product rule. So we're going to get our environmental factor, 100 minus 0.25t squared times p prime, which is 25e to the 0.05t plus 500 e to the 0.05t times negative 0.5t. All right, so I can definitely pull some things out of here. I'm going to pull out a 25e to the 0.05t from everything. That's going to leave me 100 minus 0.25t squared. That's going to leave me a 20 over here when I do that. 20 times negative 0.5 is going to be minus 10. So I'm going to get a minus 10t. That's going to be our derivative, something like that. And any of these forms are fine.